Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Let's start today's lecture. Our today's lecture is nanotechnology in livestock and poultry. So as you all know that the livestock and poultry sectors are very important like many other sectors, and this sector is very important in terms of food security and sustainability. And livestock and poultry sector is the main source of protein and energy in the form of milk, meat, and eggs. So it means that we largely depend on livestock and poultry sector for our energy and protein requirements. And like many other sectors, livestock and poultry sector also faces many problems. For example, diseases, contaminated food, and contaminated cultivation places. So, amongst these problems, diseases are the major problems that exist in livestock and poultry sector. And in addition to many common diseases that are that infect the animals and poultry, there are some disease epidemics that also hit the livestock and poultry sector. So, in these disease epidemics, mad cow disease, so mad cow disease is the name of disease which infects the spinal cord and brain of the cattle. And it is believed that this disease is caused by the misfolded proteins, which we call it as prions. So although some scientists believe that there are no known causes of mad cow disease, but it is still believed that this is caused by prions. And there is no evidence till now that this disease also occur in human beings, although there are rare chances that a variant form of mad cow disease can occur in human beings, when especially when humans eat the infected brain of the cattle. So like mad cow, bird flu is also a common epidemic disease that occur especially in birds. So, in order to cope with these problems that exist in livestock and poultry sector, we are today going to discuss some nanotechnology based solutions. And number one of the nanotechnology based solutions of the problems that exist in livestock and poultry sector, number one is the application of nanoselenium. Selenium is actually a trace element that is given in the feed of the animals. Now there are two chances. Either we use this selenium in nano form, which we call it as nano selenium, or we can use this selenium in the form of the normal inorganic salts like selenomethionine or sodium selenate. So when we use or if we use selenium in the nano form or the nano selenium, what advantages it could offer over the traditional inorganic form of the selenium? It can boost the antioxidant ability and immunity in the livestock and poultry sector, or the animals, um, or the or in poultry sector. Nanoselenium shows better absorption and penetration in cells as compared to the traditional selenomethionine or sodium selenate. So it means that when we use nanoselenium, it could be absorbed by the cells of the animals or the poultry in a better way as compared to the traditional inorganic salts of the selenium. Similarly, mixing of the selenium, nanoselenium in feed could result in the better performance of the livestock and better growth of the livestock. And in the same manner, the use of nanoselenium could lead to the reduced use of antibiotics. It means that when we use nanoselenium in the feed, what it could do is it will it will cause immunity. It will trigger the immunity against many diseases. So when there are no diseases, or there is less chances of diseases, a huge amount of antibiotics that farmers used in livestock and farming industry, the amount of these antibiotics could be reduced. In the same way, nutrition dose and the toxic dose range is wider in case of nanoselenium as compared to the traditional inorganic selenium sources. So it means that when we use traditional sources of the selenium, like selenium salts, what happens that the toxicity level reaches earlier in the form of a dose. While in case of nanoselenium, what happens that there is a wide range of spectrum. There is a huge range of spectrum occur between the nutrition dose and toxic dose. So this means this is an additional advantage of using the selenium, of using the nanoselenium as compared to the traditional or the inorganic selenium salts. Then secondly, the second product is the nanovitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is responsible to boost immunity and prevent diseases in livestock. So it means that when we use this vitamin D3 in nano form or nanovitamin D3, what it could do is it could increase the production and weight of the livestock, and it also reduces the risk of many diseases by boosting the immunity in the livestock or the poultry animals. Then the absorption of the nanovitamin D3 is much better as compared to the ordinary vitamin D3. So it means that when we apply the nanovitamin D3, it could be efficiently absorbed by the cells of the animals or the poultry as compared to the traditional vitamin D3. So this is additional advantage. Number three, we can use nano zinc oxide in pig farming. So you are well aware of the fact that pig farming is a huge industry in the world. Although we as a Muslim do not use pig as a meat source, but in world pig farming is a big industry, and it's a huge source of meat. So diarrhea is the common in pigs, and it results in huge mortality. What we can do is we can use zinc oxide nanoparticles, and that could be supplemented in feed in order to avoid many diseases including diarrhea. So what happens that the zinc oxide nanoparticles would have high absorption efficiency as compared to the ordinary zinc oxide. So again, being a nanoparticle, its absorption is much more efficient as compared to normal inorganic salt. So when absorption rate is efficient, it means that we would have to give a very low dose of the nano zinc oxide as compared to the ordinary zinc oxide. And this low dose of the nano zinc oxide would be even in low amount, even in low dose, it would be much efficient as compared to the ordinary zinc oxide salts. Then reduced use of antibiotics. Again, when we apply or when we use zinc oxide nanoparticles, it would battle against many diseases. It would trigger the immunity in the animals or in the poultry, and the amount of antibiotics that we use in this sector could be cut in huge amounts. Then another product that is nano based and that could be used in livestock and poultry industry is the vaccine adjuvants. So you are well aware of the vaccines, that vaccines could boost the immunity against many diseases. And you know that in current situation of COVID-19, we are anxiously waiting for the vaccine to come. So that we could be immunized against this COVID-19 disease. In the similar fashion, in animals or in the poultry, there are many diseases which for which we have to use the vaccines. So these nano-based vaccine adjuvants could be very efficient against many of the diseases of the cattle and the poultry. So one example is the use of monosylated chitosan nanoparticles. What these monosylated chitosan nanoparticles could do, they could be very effective against foot and mouth disease in animals that is caused by aphthovirus. So, uh, like uh, uh, like many other diseases, uh, one example is monosylated chitosan nanoparticle based vaccine that could cause immunity against a very well-known disease, that is foot and mouth disease. So foot and mouth disease is widely spread around the world in cattle industry. And if you belong to the village, you are well aware of the disease name, which is called as Muh Khur in Punjabi. So Muh Khur is well known to the guys who belong to the farming industry or who belong to the villages. Muh mean mouth and Khur mean foot. So this is the Punjabi name of the disease, foot and mouth. So we can use monosylated chitosan nanoparticles against this disease. So uh, foot and mouth disease cause a huge mortality in animals, and the vaccine could boost the immunity against this disease and many other diseases in animals and cattle industry. So similarly, uh, at fifth position, we can use nanotechnology in the sterilization process. So like the diseases, sterilization is or the contamination is a huge problem in the farming of the cattle and poultry. And there are many pathogens that can exist in the feed as well as in the living places or cultivation places of the animals and poultry. So what we can do is we can use nano zinc oxide or zinc oxide nanoparticles and titanium oxide nanoparticles as antimicrobial agents in the feed of the animals as well as in the living places of the animals. So these zinc oxide nanoparticles or titanium oxide nanoparticles, they are very well known antimicrobial agents. So when we use these nanoparticles, we can sterilize the feed that is given to the animals or poultry, and at the same time we can also sterilize the places where these animals and poultry live in. So in this way, if the environment or the cultivation environment of the animals or the poultry could be sterilized, uh, uh, the diseases could be controlled. And then, like we have already discussed in case of human diseases, that the nanosensors can be used in order to diagnose many human diseases. And we have already discussed this topic. So similarly, as we discussed in humans, these nanosensors and biochips could also be used in not only in the diagnosis, but also in the treatment of the animal and poultry diseases. So what these nanosensors could do is, these nanosensors could very specifically or very sensitively detect the viruses that cause the diseases in the animals or poultry. So it means that we can use them as nanosensors. Similarly, we can use these nanosensors for animal tracking, and you are well aware of the fact that you daily see in the documentaries on the Animal Planet or National Geographic, that people or the scientists use these sensors in order to track many animals, that how they live in the natural environment, how they interact with the other animals or the other parts of the ecosystem in in an environment. So these nanosensors or nano coated sensors could be used for the animal tracking. Similarly, biochips that are coated with the nanoparticles could be used for the diagnosis of many diseases in the animals. And similarly, if the diagnosis occur, then we can also use nanomaterials for the treatment of many livestock diseases. So thank you so much. This is all about the today's lecture about the use of nanotechnology in livestock and poultry industry, that how nanotechnology could help uh, in the in the growth performance or in the production of the cattle and poultry industry, and how it could help in the control and diagnosis of the diseases in the livestock and poultry industry. Thank you very much. If you have any question about today's lecture, you can ask.